Greetings. In today's class, we'll be developing more hip mobility and lengthening our hamstrings. Come to a seated position and your feet are on the floor, knees are bent. Drop the knees to one side for a windshield wiper-like motion with your legs. Be sure that your feet are far enough apart so your knees can drop into the center without touching. This helps to lubricate and open up our hip joints. Now come around, sitting in a figure 4 position, and walk your hands around to the side behind you. We'll slowly drop our body as we exhale and inhale and lift. Exhale, softly descend, and inhale and lift. Let's switch to the other side. Simply fold your legs to the other side. And then again, walk your hands around to the side and a little bit behind you. Exhale, drop. Inhale, gently lift. Exhale, descend. Inhale and lift. Exhale, down. And come back up. We'll come around to the front. Now for a seated figure 4 position, we cross our ankle over the opposite knee, still leaning back on our hands, and just gently rock your hips from side to side. A little massage to your buttocks there. And we can open the chest up and round and curve a little bit. Pressing the heart forward and curve. Now we'll switch sides. On this side, I can't open my knee very far due to a hip restriction. Always work within your range and stay safe. So can't do much on that side. Extend the leg upward. And now we'll round the spine as we roll back and press your heart forward and inhale and exhale and round. Inhale, rock forward and inhale and round and coming up to center. Round and extend upward and open. Next, we will come onto our hands and knees. Bring the blocks under your hands. Position the blocks directly under your shoulders and arms, and we'll step forward into a low lunge. Gently rock back and forth, just slow, short movements. Don't try to go too far. We're just starting to open up the front of our hip, lengthening that psoas muscle. Gentle movements. And then hold it for a little bit. Now we'll sit back as we lengthen the front leg and come forward into a low lunge. And shift the hips back into half split. Forward and inhale. Exhale. Leaning over the leg. Inhale and open. Bring the knee down, back under you. We'll pause in a nice child pose to stretch out the low back. Keeping the hands on the blocks helps to open the shoulder blades and gives a more dynamic stretch. Now bring the other foot forward, stepping between your hands. Make sure that your lower leg is straight up and down. And again, just gently pulsing back and forth to begin with. Keep the movements slow and gentle. warming up the front of that hip. Now as you lean forward, you don't have to straighten the front leg all the way. Open up, exhale over the leg, but keep the knee soft. Don't overstretch it. Always stay within your comfort range. Exhale over the leg. In, bring the knee back under you and stretch again into child pose. Pressing through the hands, feeling that nice stretch in your shoulder girdle. Now we'll come up onto all fours and take it to the next level. So straighten the back leg, pressing back through your heel. Again, make sure that your knee, your front knee is directly over your foot, and your shin bone should be straight up and down. Now we'll shift into pyramid pose, first pausing in flat back. Lunge into pyramid as both legs straighten. Take it to high lunge and exhale forward into pyramid. Inhale forward into high lunge. Now we'll go into plank position and switch legs. So pressing back firmly through that back heel, leg is strong, kneecaps engaged, thigh engaged. And then shift the weight back into pyramid pose as both legs straighten. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, shift back as both legs straighten. Inhale into lunge. Exhale back. And inhale, expand the front of the hip open. Step into plank and hold. Bring the knees down. Might readjust the blocks a little bit so they're directly under your hands. Now we're coming into a plank position and shifting back to downward dog. Press down through your heels, come forward into plank, knees down, and open the front of the body into a gentle upward dog. Shift back to down dog, pressing through the hands, back to plank, drop the knees, and let the hips drop into a gentle upward dog. Back to plank, downward dog, exhale, come back to plank. We're building strength here, knees down, and drop the hips into upward dog, inhaling as we lift. Exhale, again back to down dog. Lifting the heels and pedal the feet, stretching one leg and then the other. Bending one knee and then the other, pedaling the feet. And lift and lower both heels and come back to plank. Feel your strength. Drop the knees and shift all the way back to child pose. Exhaling. You can keep your toes tucked under, and that will stretch your arches and your toes. We'll come back up to all fours and come around to a seated position. Now we'll come down all the way onto the back, keeping the knees bent. Feet are flat on the floor, hip width apart. Now have your block handy. We're going to place it directly under our sacrum. Find the comfortable spot where it's not digging into anything. And we're lifting and lowering our pelvis into bridge pose. This will help open up the front of the hips Open up the hip joints and lift again, strengthening the thighs, breathing, and coming back down as you exhale. And lift again, and hold. Feel the whole front body opening up. And slowly roll down. Now let's take our second block and place it on top of the first block so our pelvis is lifted up higher. We're going to gently lift the pelvis up off the block and place it back down so the pelvis can rest on the block when it comes down. If you'd like to lift your heels and go up onto your toes, you can do that if that feels good. Lifting and lowering your pelvis up and down off the block. All right, take the block away carefully, one at a time. Now grab the top of your thigh, the back of your thigh, for a nice gentle hamstring stretch. If you like, you can extend the other leg out straight. And if possible, grab onto your toe, or your ankle, or your calf, or your thigh, wherever you can reach, and stretch the leg upward. You may even need a strap for that, for accessibility. Now stretch the other leg by keeping both legs bent. You're holding on to the back of your thigh for a gentle hamstring stretch. And then extend one leg straight to the floor while you're continuing to hold the back of your thigh. And then extend the leg upward to wherever it is comfortable, wherever that stretch is for you. It may not be as high as my leg, so we just work within our range. Bring the leg back down. Now we're going to position the blocks so that they help to support our outer thighs. Soles of the feet are together. Let your knees fall outward, but we want the blocks to be comfortably supporting your thighs as we relax in our final position. Bring your arms out to the side, palms up, and completely let go. Take some slow, deep breaths and relax. Stay here as long as you like. Enjoy the peace and silence.